Join me today where I have got an absolutely wild plan. You see, over the last 6 months we've been getting into bouldering, in fact quite significantly, and we really enjoy it. The only problem is with bouldering is it's a round journey to our centre of about 50 minutes, and I've been wondering, can we make that journey any shorter? That's when I came to the side of my house. Look at that. It's made of these really old stone blocks, a lot of them with some quite big ridges in too. So the question is, can I make and find some routes on the side of my house that sort of match maybe V3, V4 bouldering routes? Let's find out. First things first, we obviously need to look at the wall and try and assess where's going to be best to climb. As I said, my climbing abilities tend to be V3, V4. That's what we're going to be looking for. I'm sure there's climbs all over this thing, but I want to get something with some nice little ledges on where I can get a nice little bit of grip and see where we go from there. Let's make an assessment and find out where's going to be best to climb up the side of my house. So after a brief look around, I do think we're going to be best off with this side of the house. We can use the edge of the brickwork as like a volume that we'd have in the climbing gym. We've also got some nice footholds going up here and some nice ledges too, which I should be able to get my fingers into. Problem is, as we come across this way, it's almost like enough mortar hasn't really fell out. So although we can get a bit of purchase on these bricks, they're going to be a bit tricky. This side is going to give us the best chance of making an ascent up the side of the house. Next step is, of course, to get a bit of protection in here, get some climbing shoes on, jump into it, give it a go. This is where it becomes incredibly technical, as you can imagine. I've got an old mattress which needs to be thrown away, but I'm determined to use it for one last thing, which is going to be this. Get my climbing shoes on. I actually climb with La Sportiva P3s. I really like these shoes, they're great. They're my first ever pair of climbing shoes. I've never owned a pair up until now, and I was advised to buy these as someone who was getting into the sport but progressing relatively quickly. I do feel like I'd slowed down in the last couple of months perhaps. I did have a broken foot for a little bit, so I couldn't climb, but I'm back on it now, and it's lovely to be back down at the local bouldering gym and enjoying it down there. This will be really interesting to see if it works. If I can manage to get a route even a couple of meters off the ground, I will be well chuffed with that. My intention isn't to go too high because I do value my life, my limbs and my joints as well. Keep going for a little bit longer and see what else we can find in this wall, and see if I can get just a little bit higher on the side of this. Potentially on this side of the house I might have met my match with how high I'm going to climb, feeling kind of comfortable at the same time. However, I am looking over to the left hand side of the building, and actually I reckon there probably is a climb in this. So let's move across the other side, see if we can get a bit of a climb, see if we can get any higher. Again, not expecting massively high, but this is just like a really cool exercise, and yeah, why not? I think what I'm struggling with this the most on this side is when you get to a certain height, you sort of run out of your footholds, which is becoming a challenge. I'm wondering maybe if I could come slightly further towards the centre of the face, I might manage to get a bit higher. There's some decent ridges higher up. I'm going to move that, move my technical mattress across and give it a go slightly further towards the chimney in the middle, and maybe come off the sides of the building, stop using those volumes and try and jump on the actual brickwork itself all the way up. Let's see. I have to keep moving this mattress across because I keep spotting new holes to try and get up the wall without using the sides of the building. As I said, when you climb like V3, V4, this is quite a challenge. I'm determined to find some holes towards the centre of the building where I can get up the brickwork, even just a metre or so, that would do me. I think if I want the best chance of trying to get a route that I might be able to give some sort of grade to, then I am going to stay on this side of the house using those volumes. I've checked out the rest of it and it's just not quite working out. I'm going to head up using the side, as I said, like a volume, and we're going to see how far we can get. We've also got the drone in the air now as well to try and get a bit of a side on shot. Let's go for it. That wasn't too bad. Bit of a drop, but yeah, pretty good. Before I jump on and try and give this a bit of a grade, what I want to do is actually show you the method behind what I'm thinking and the holds that I found along the way, and what's making this easy, what's making it difficult, and then we will give it a grade at the end. And yeah, you can say if you agree or disagree, I guess. I think we've got our bottom foothold we're using. As you can see, it's got quite a bit of ledge to it, so it's quite easy to balance on, so that's not too bad. Same with this as well. This is what we're using to start on our other foot, and again you can see I can kind of get my hand in there, I can get a bit of purchase. It's not massive, but it's quite grippy, and as we come up we've got more of those footholds, so we've got a little step just in here, and then again moving up we've got another one here, and all the time I'm pushing my foot a lot of the time into this mortar, so I'm sort of pushing off the friction of the brick rather than positioning properly into holds, but I'm using these ledges on the way up and obviously pulling off the side of the building. As we come up, we've got a handhold just here, as you can see. That's actually quite big. I can get my fingertips around it. That's about it. I can't get much else, but it gives me a nice bit of grip when I'm starting off. And as we move further up the wall, it doesn't look it, but it's unbelievably precarious. As you can see, as you come up, those ledges are a little bit bigger coming in to the rock wall, just working our way up on those sort of big-ish ridges. This little nub as well is pretty good to grab onto. I'm going to jump off. So yeah, that's what we're working with anyway in terms of footholds, handholds. I hope it's kind of come across on camera, but I understand it's a little bit tricky. As someone climbing for the first time as well outside, it's just shredded my hands. Look at that. That is really bad. I get shredded a lot bit in the gym, but not that much by any means. That is amazing. What grade am I going to give to the side of my house and the route that I've found, mainly on this this right-hand side that I have managed to actually climb up using the side of the building, working my way up. Now, to be honest, I'm kind of falling V2, V3. Maybe I'm being harsh, maybe I'm being too kind to myself, I don't know. I've not climbed a dramatic height, but I'd say I've got a couple of meters off the ground, which to be fair is kind of all you want to do in bouldering, especially when I'm using a mattress as well. But I'm quite pleased that I've managed to find an intricate little route up the side. I'm sure there's many more. I mean, I got one over the far side as well, but I just didn't get as high, so I don't feel I can really grade that. But this, as I said, a couple of meters off the ground, there's a few holds involved. I reckon V2, V3 is about right. Maybe if I went higher, it might fall into like pushing on to V4, but we'll see. What do you think? Comment down below. I'm genuinely really interested. This is just something I've got into and I absolutely love it. And you know, I only want to learn more. I only want to do more. So for me, climbing the side of my house is probably the start of much more to come, I'm sure. So if you've enjoyed it, drop us a subscribe, like, comment, other things you can do, many of those, and I will catch you in the next video.